What is up, guys? It's your boy Jim Rat. We're coming at you live. Let's put on some tunes real quick. Let's tune it up. I need to know how my audio is immediately. Immediate audio check. Immediate audio check. I need my audio check, people, first things first. How's my audio? I see biceps flooding the chat. No need to say anything other than that. Let me just look for 1 second here. Pop out chat. Guys, I'm getting more efficient at this looking at my chat thing. So, because I've been ignoring chats because I don't have the bandwidth to look at it because I'm not used to it. But I got another monitor, so that's why I'm looking here now. I used to look here. Now I'm going to be looking here primarily. I need audio check. Audio check. How's my audio? I need an audio check. I will. Hey, everyone that mentions any kind of rugsters or pieces of trash on chain, please put your thoughts in the comments. I will highlight it and show it at the top. The cool thing about live streaming about the truth is there are other truthers and they will do the work for me and I won't even have to say anything. I don't have a Telegram group funneled with people where I'm just pushing some narrative so I could steal your money. That's not my game, dude. That's the lamest game on the planet. I hope those people rot in hell. Dorks, losers, no soul. It doesn't matter what you buy. You can buy everything in the world, brother. But if you will steal from innocent people, you won't sleep good forever. You won't be sleeping well. And I think that's a critical thing. I am getting mass blocked and reported by a lot of 45-year-old men. And I don't give a shit. This troll campaign that I am doing on Richard Hart has been nothing but deserved by him. No one's ever given him heat. And everyone hasn't been a part of the community because the people in the community do not have the ball sack to say anything to a dude who's across the country and doesn't even read his tweets, while everyone funnels all of their hard-earned money into something. Richard's not a scammer, and at least Richard thought about everything. The guys that he empowered with his money, with all the money and the gains and because good people, when they see people going like this, like when your grandmother and your grandfather see a rapper that's doing this with the double watches, guess what? They automatically know those people are full of shit. Why? Because they have life experience. And they know people do that to funnel. It's a social engineering gimmick. It's marketing 101. Get idiots to buy your shit. But at least Richard Hart, for 5 years straight, put dense information on the internet. Dense. Which captured me an insane amount of value. It's just once he came out with the product, all the value. I made money in that moment, in that 3 month, 6 month span, of course. But what is 3 months? 3 months? This whole entire hex crap is off of a 6.5 month pump. There is a 6.5 month pump. And that is what all these FOMO idiots are obsessed with for the rest of their life. I like 3 month pumps too, but am I going to be obsessed with it for the rest of my life? Are you out of your mind? Richard Hart also has all his money in ETH. Why wouldn't he just buy Hex, right? It's such a better product. It's because it's not a better product for him because he'll just eat slippage because it's such a little baby sack of shit right now. And yeah, it'll pump once everyone's out. Everyone has to be out now. Every good person out. Every decent thought out. Reset completely. And Richard knows it. Richard knows it. He 100% knows it. And that's why Humble Richard, he was making fun of people last night. Not Humble Richard. He can't even keep his image up for 2 days anymore. I want Richard to double down so bad. Dude, I have 37 stakes on both chains, dude, but this is pathetic bullshit. Pathetic bullshit, and there's not a man on the internet that's willing just to say it on live stream. I have enough of a platform where at least some people can listen. And I was as deep in this sauce since day one as any of you guys. I've lost more. I've gained more. I'm not saying all the hexagons. Obviously, there's some hexagons out there that are still using this money to take advantage of people generally. And if they're not, they're just grateful for the money and they just did something good. Or they're naive. There's a lot of naivete too. Oh, geez. Let's watch a Richard Hart clip. This is what I've been doing. I'm going full perma-troll. We're perma-trolling. I'm perma-trolling at least until the hex front end works. I will troll Richard Hart until the hex front end works. I will troll Richard Hart until the hex front end works. You know how annoying it is to be down 99% 5 times over, 1,000,000 times over, and then you go to get your stake out that's worth almost nothing and the front end doesn't work? You know how defeating that is? This dude got $3 billion. And that's at a minimum. We don't even know what he has. He has 80 accounts. If he's like me, if he's like anyone else, you have so many accounts at some point. Because that's that the meta is having a bunch of accounts. Security is having a bunch of accounts. In general, if your surface area, and that's at least what I found out, if your surface area is, let's say, $100,000 and you have $5,000 on 5 different wallets, and you're at the bottom of a cycle, you can guarantee you're going to make out. And if you are clicking around on one wallet or something happens on one exchange, that's the meta. And Richard figured that out a long time ago. But so people look at these wallets and they think they have an idea about what's going on. But the truth is they have no idea. And it's gone on for so long and it's been so down against Ethereum that it's just fair for somebody to be talking about this. It is fair at a minimum. I am not going to change the price chart, dude. There's a whale with way more incentive to F everyone's life up than me, dude. I have zero incentive because I know I'm not going to mess the price chart up, right? Like even if every hexagon knew, believed with what I said, it wouldn't change the price chart. It might be best if I keep the chat off because I have a feeling there's like 50 chats in the thing. 50 chats. Go over to Crypto 7 stream. Let me know how many chats there are. None. Except for the 2 bots that he probably has their account. It's probably over here. And I'm not even gonna get. He's an easy target, right? Like that's lame. But I'm not gonna just personally. To be honest, I don't think I should personally attack anyone because it's just too heated in the streets right now. It's too heated in the streets right now. I gotta stay chill. But I'm allowed to highlight what's obviously occurred and happening and what needs to happen for any of this to change. I've been around. I've seen things flourish. I've seen things crumble. I've seen men with greedy attitudes destroy things my entire life. Crypto's not the first thing. Just because it's peer-to-peer. It's peer-to-peer, guys. Don't you know that Richard Hart copy and pasted something that's peer-to-peer? I'm allowed to be as sarcastic as he was to everyone in existence. Not me. Everyone, even the rich people that make stuff. The billionaires that are doing business. He told everyone they were dumb. They were not dumb, some of them. They did good things. They had better price charts. They had better results. They had a better community. So I will say all of this stuff constantly. And I might tone it down if the hex front end starts working again. Because I have stakes coming out around this time that are 6 years old that have lost complete value in every single way, shape, and form. Worst deal of my life. Never put my money into a vessel that lost more money than that. EHEX. Just as a unit. EHEX. I'm allowed to bring up EHEX. It exists. It's a thing. right? And it has a chart, and it's supposed to be the best price chart in crypto history. So let's go to a random video. You want to see sarcasm? You want to see pizzazz? You want to see someone that's bringing a little bit of something at least fun to the table? Let's click on a random video of Richard Hart. You know me, I have every video basically in my head. I don't know which ones are which because there's so many. While he was spitting every thought he ever had on the internet, he could have had foresight and been like, maybe just chill on telling everyone everything, and then coming out with the product and back talking for the rest of history. And like I said, I have 37 stakes copied over, so that's double the stakes. And I've taken a few out. But truthfully, compared to my bag, it's so minimal that you're like, if there's a nuclear shot that Hex hits all-time highs again, and it's hitting all-time lows right now. I guess I'll make it. Right? So many biceps in the chat. We're doing a giveaway today, guys. Haven't even shilled yet. I won't take your money and I haven't even shilled yet. What a drug addict. Yeah, everyone's on this drug addict campaign with me lately. That's like the only thing they can actually say. All right, guys. And he's one more 50% dump from being off this picture. One more 50% dump, Richard. One more. One more. You get one more. And that'll be like 11 straight. All right. So everyone knows, and don't get it twisted, this is a Richard Hart Max FUD campaign. And if you see biceps in the chat, and biceps in the YouTube chat, by the way, for the giveaway, you have to retweet the tweet and biceps in the YouTube chat. I don't know how to interact with the other chat, really. Yeah. Yeah. And if anyone wants to debate me, it's really hard to debate this, but yeah, I will do a legitimate. The RH Max debate yesterday was amazing. I love RH Max to death. I'm sorry if I was any bit aggressive with him, but I was trying to get a point across, and my DMs are flooding with absolute awesomeness. And all the obviously intellectually honest comments were in positivity of that content. So if you want hype and more viewers and more fun, maybe you should retweet my stuff and I can make this turn into a tsunami. Because I have literally been back to doing this for like a month and it's easier than ever. Competition's worse than ever. And they're asking for more money than ever, which is weird. So yes, this is the campaign. Retweet this tweet everywhere on the internet. I want this tweet to be absolutely like just plastered on everyone's crypto channel or whatever. And then the tweet that you actually have to tweet is this one, because this one is the link for this is the link for the YouTube stream that I'm doing right now. So if you want to make YouTube chat great again, another one of my campaigns, Max RH FUD campaign, and make YouTube chat great again campaign. These are two campaigns that I have been running by myself, and and I've asked for no sacrifice yet, but I'm planning on doing a make YouTube chat great again sacrifice phase, and I will put 1% of all proceeds into the liquidity pool, and I will sell the rest for US dollar, and I'll buy 2 houses or something. I mean, I'll lie the whole time about it. And then I'll come back and do it again in a year when everyone forgets. I'm on fire. I'm aura farming now. Yeah, so Toby came at me, some bullshit about Toby on here. I'm not even going to read it. And then, yeah, another campaign, Richard Hart created the worst price chart in the history of cryptocurrency. That was the opposite of the goal. But, hey, you get 3 strikes. Not He might have already used it. Yeah, and then I just highlighted his outrage gets less clicks than it used to, about 66% less. Hex price is down 66% lower than it was 6 years ago. Bitcoin all-time highs last week. That is the number one cryptocurrency. And I'm not telling you to sell all your bags. It's stupid to sell the bottom of anything. And we're getting there. That's why I said one more 50% dump. Like, I'm still ready to buy, dude. Like, I'm just being honest. You want me to be 100% honest? I will scoop the piss out of a couple of these whales if they get completely liquidated or go to prison or something. Understood? Like, this is about money, right? That's why I'm acknowledging, like, everyone lost their money. One. Yeah, it's in a smart contract that the front end doesn't work. And there's one other front end, thank God for Hedron. And if Alex from Hedron did this entire project, it probably all would have worked out. If Alex from Hedron did Hex, start to finish, start over, back in time, with what he knew then, not even now, we would be normal with the market. We would only be in EHEX. Probably we would have some derivative plays off of that. He would have not created a layer one. He would have not done a sacrifice phase. He probably would have still made a lot of money because he's smart, but it would have been in a more ethical way, potentially. And Richard even said Alex from Hedron's the best of the best. Let's go to a random video of Richard Hart. We're doing is it Richard Hart 2021? Did I miss it? 6 years ago, 6/5/2020. So this was 2019 Richard Hart. All right, let's go to 2019 Richard Hart before the pump. So yesterday we did the pump. On this side of the 6-month pump, the only thing that ever happened in Hex was one 6-month pump. The only thing that ever happened in Hex was one 6-month pump. The only thing that ever happened in Hex was one 6-month pump. The only thing that ever happened in Hex was one 6-month pump. Ever. There's people that have dedicated their entire lives to a dude flashing Rolex watches. And I was right in the sinkhole with these guys. Luckily, I have pretty good with trends. I can tell when things are trending down. That's why I left a year and a half ago. Everyone's like, oh, you sold out. I'm like, no, I wised up. The truth is I put it into ETH and I just have been playing around and trading against the worst cheats of all time on Pulse Chain and just funneling money anywhere on the blockchain that I desire. And that's what most people have done that are smart. But they're not going to just like say it. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like a campaign? I'm doing a campaign right now to get Richard to work, do something, say something, talk about the ETH price, talk about his market projections. He said he was the smartest dude in the universe. He told everyone he was smarter than every human. But now he won't come out because now he's not sure. And now when ETH pump, the whole entire roadmap for Pulse Chain is to watch ETH pump. Let's go to the video. I need to take a break. Make sure you retweet the tweet. And this could be a bottom signal. I don't give a shit, dude. Anything to turn this dump sack around. Totally random spot in a totally random video from 2019. I'm clicking on the maximalist perspective. So there is a subsection. It's called the maximalist perspective. That's what, and sorry guys in the chat, all I want to see is this today. All I want to see is biceps, 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 biceps. Listen, this is real content, guys. And even if you're not in the Pulse Chain community, I really want you to learn this because you have to understand, and you're probably a little smarter. That's probably why you kind of avoided forever down charts. But I was not at the time. I was brand new and I made a killing off of it. So at the time, so it kind of like felt like I won, but I had a feeling I won, but the wrong things were kind of occurring. And maybe I was just hyped by the watches. I was 25, man, and I was making money, and I was in the bull market was on. It was a killer ass time, dude. It was a killer ass time, dude. And I'm sorry, like I was lost in the sauce too, but that doesn't mean I can't change my worldview and just move forward. I'm ready to go. I don't align with fake Rolex, or not fake, but real Rolex watches, and I never have, and I never will. I don't care about that stuff. And even if I did, I wouldn't brag about it because I would feel like that was insensitive to people that probably will never get to that point. But people that didn't get enough strokes as a kid will flash Rolex watches. That's what that means. I'm not saying that you can't show people your cool stuff and express yourself online. But when you're flashing Rolex watches, that's going to make smart people go away from you and dumb people come towards you. And that's what I know. Watches are fire too. Trust me, if I could afford 1 million watches, I'd probably have a couple. But I would not be like, look at me, dude, fuck you. It's like saying, oh, I have a beautiful house. I'm just going to go outside and be like, F everyone that is renting. It's like, no, I have to pay for it too. It sucks sometimes. You buy a supercar, I'm sure you got to pay a crowd for it. It probably sucks sometimes. But Richard said he's humble, Richard, and he just continues to mock people and get less views on it over and over and over and care about his tweets less over and over. He doesn't even care anymore. He's just waiting for ETH pump. Random spot, random video, literally random spot. No, I'm not saying it won't pump, dude. Hex can do crazy numbers. Don't get it twisted. Most people are completely out. I would say most people that are liquid are completely out, but Hex itself has whales that'll dump on you forever with endless stakes. I'm not a whale, and I'm going to dump on you forever with endless stakes. Won't hit the price chart probably, but there's only 35,000 more guys that have more than me. So, or whatever, then that's what it was at the top, but I don't know what it is now. It's probably getting pretty pathetic. Let's go ahead and see what the Brainiac Richard Hart, smartest guy in crypto, smartest man in crypto, best guy in crypto. Everyone else is dumb compared to him. Everyone, even dudes that invented amazing things are dumb compared to him. And forever down price chart. I have not watched this video since at least months, and I have no idea, a long time. But this is what people rally around. They rally around people, and like I said, they don't get enough strokes as a kid, or they're young and impressionable, right? At a certain age, you're supposed to figure this stuff out. But he's aware of all that, and he is a good marketer, but he is not good at marketing himself. He's good at marketing, but he's not good at marketing himself. He doesn't see himself clearly, I don't believe. I think he's emotionally a little bit like, because if you just call yourself a super genius every day, that's just the weirdest thing anyone's ever done, ever. Super geniuses don't do that. I don't think. I would assume they wouldn't.
If you want these things, if you want progress, right? Let me tell you the progress that you've gotten in Bitcoin. In 10 years, you got these features that you can use. Send, receive, mine, but that became impossible, right? You have to beg someone to sell you a miner that's still profitable from Asia, right? And that's it. That's the only features, right? So then they added new stuff that barely anyone uses. They added multi-sig, which most users don't use. They added time locking, which most users don't use. And they added SegWit, which enables a lot of cool stuff, which right now nobody uses, right? Like,
I can tell you what nobody uses right now, the Hex front end, because it doesn't work. No, but remember, when he does, always take Richard when he's talking about something other than Hex. He's probably starting to frame things towards that because it hasn't really gotten going yet. So he's probably still nervous about like just being like, oh, like you need to buy Hex, kind of illegal probably. So he's probably already aware of some legal stuff that he needs to be aware of, but he will say stupid stuff. Don't worry. But when he's talking not about Hex and Pulse Chain, always be like, maybe take a note or two, grab your notepad. If he's talking about anything else, and I'm saying grab a notepad, consider what he's saying. Most of it's probably framed out. It's hard to, this was 6 years ago, guys, 6 years ago. Oh, let me switch the banner. I'll switch it while I'm going. Edit 2019. Yesterday we did it 2021. Guess what? He had more Rolex watches. Wonder how. Let's go. And I will go to my feed and go through every single tweet that I want you guys to retweet and spam all over the internet. So, because we got to get these, not Richard. Richard doesn't look at his Twitter unless he's blocking or making fun of people. But we need to get the scammers out, dude. And by out, I mean they have to farm someone else. They got to figure out how to farm. There has to be a meta somewhere else. And if we are always talking about scammers here, the meta will be somewhere else. It'll be on Solana or whatever piss chain you want to go on. But it's not here, guys. This is not the meta.
Time locking allowed Lightning to happen. The SegWit allowed Lightning to happen. Lightning could be cool. Lightning isn't actually Bitcoin, right? Lightning works on any network that you want to use it on. They have Lightning for Ethereum. It's called Raiden or state channels, right? Like it's not actually Bitcoin. So this concept of like Bitcoin's going to scale through Lightning. It's like, yeah, so is everything else. It's just pre-signed transactions with time locks. Like you can do that with everything. That's how atomic cross swaps work.
Hey, I'd like to highlight that Bitcoin has gone up only drastically since this thing. And if you were listening to Richard Hart during this video and you were smashing buy on Bitcoin, you wildly outperformed every single thing that he's ever done. Back to the video.
Like, so I don't know. I spend all day arguing with people on Twitter that are stupider than me and poorer than me and less successful and less eloquent. And I guess they're more modest.
Did you just say less eloquent, bro? Less eloquent? Oh my gosh. I did not sleep enough last night for this.
For them. And it just, after a while, it just beats my brain in, you know, like I know everything I'm bad at. I know everything I suck at. And these guys just suck worse. It's terrible. These are guys that held from 20K down to 3K, told you to buy the top, told you to stay broke the whole way down, right? Never learned anything from the market. These idiots that try and give you advice, they have no idea why coins are in the top 10. And their position on them is, oh, I don't care. I don't care that they're in the top 10. Well, you should care, motherfucker, because it ain't no guarantee you're going to stay in one, right? You got to stay hungry. You got to stay working. You can't just.
Dude, this is the biggest contradiction I have ever seen in my entire life for anything. Of anyone. Of anyone. Still working, keep working, keep working. Hex front end's not working. That was like 7 years ago job. $3 billion. I mean, I have to highlight this for the sake of goddamn journalism because nobody else will. No one else has the balls. No one is embedded into the community as me because I never sold out. I never sold out. I have no ties. I never sold out. I never became a maxi. I did everything that Richard's talking about right now. I did everything that Richard's talking about right now. I saw that Hex was going down. I sold it. I stopped streaming. I didn't want to talk about it. I wanted to find new things to do. I found new things to do. They were wildly more profitable. And guess what? Now I can buy the bottom, you ding dong. That's exactly what he's saying right here. But he told you to time lock. He told you to time lock, not him. Yeah, he has 90% of the apply. He can time lock 200 million, whatever, whenever he wants. It's just vapor. But that's what I'm saying. Do you not please, if you are in this chat and you do not see these contradictions, please, God, just say why. Tell me why. Tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me if this dude was not talking out of his asshole forever on repeat. And let me show you this. While we're on the topic real quick, I'll go back to that in 1 second. Everyone's asking me how I know so much about Richard Hart's case. I don't know jack S about Richard Hart's case, but lawyers do, and they have YouTube channels. And guess what? Listen to this verbatim all the way through. This is a lawyer. This was streamed to 25,000 people on one of the streaming platforms that's like more for like stuff that gets censored, right? Like these guys talk about like in-depth stuff. Please listen. I was one of the people that received a Hex SEC subpoena. You are a crybaby bitch. I am not. I never cried about it. I never whined about it. I just kept learning. And guess what? Oh my God. I'm the one who got the subpoena. I'm the one with 37 stakes on both chains. Why wouldn't I want this to work? Yeah, I'm in my Richard Hart FUD arc. Yeah, I'm farming. I'm in my farming arc. I'm allowed to farm too. I'm not taking anyone's money. I'm not launching coins and say I'm the smartest dude in the world. That's the way that you should be, because no one's that smart about everything, but they think they do when they're delusional. So let's watch this. For some reason, it bugs out. So bear with me. The video bugs out, but the audio is perfect. So just listen for a second. Just listen to this. And if you think it's wrong, let me know. But this dude seems to have a little bit more of an idea than you do, being that this was streamed to 20,000 people and he's a lawyer.
There was a decision in the Hex case against Richard Hart that the federal district court dismissed, saying they never had personal jurisdiction. I raised that issue on behalf of other people affiliated with that case 2 years ago. Told them that they were going to have serious problems with their case. Representing some people real dirt cheap. It was almost pro bono.
And the jurisdiction in this case is because it's not a security. Like that is the jurisdiction.
Well, that's one aspect, but they didn't even reach that aspect. The court said even if
Oh, they didn't even reach the aspect of whether it was a security or not. So if they never reached the aspect of it being a security or not, I wonder why. Let's keep looking.
he was selling was a security, which I disagree with treating all crypto as securities. Putting that aside, said he didn't purposely avail himself of any United States jurisdiction. That, in other words, to have personal jurisdiction over you, you've got to do something that directly reaches into that jurisdiction to make it fair for you to be held accountable in that jurisdiction. In other words, what prohibits Russia, say, from saying we hereby indict Robert Barnes for something he did in Tennessee? It's like, unless I purposely availed myself of Russia, Russia has nothing to do with it. It has no authority over me, no personal jurisdiction over me. Our personal jurisdiction laws are the same. If you're not a resident, if you're a resident, there can be general jurisdiction. That means jurisdiction for any case, even if the case doesn't concern things you did in that state. If you are a resident of that state, if you're domiciled there or your business is domiciled there. Richard Hart was not. Richard Hart was a U.S. citizen, but had lived in Finland and elsewhere. So instead, they said, well, he publicly marketed it in ways that was available to Americans. And it's like, hold on a second. By that definition, any global public statement you make is now actionable in the United States. Here he took he didn't have an interactive site.
Yeah.
Clearly, by the way, he had some good legal counsel, how he handled this, right? And it was the marketing.
Sorry, I don't know why when I uploaded it, like my phone, it like messed up. But that video, there's a link to the whole video if you need it. Just hit me up. Yeah, I know, dude. The video started glitching, but the audio, it was the audio. I was trying to get the audio across. Yeah, that got the viewers going though. Jinx, Hexicano Hero, how are you? Moonshine Fuel, how's it going? Ash, should RH be charged with securities fraud? Probably. But no, I would say not. I would say probably not. I'd probably say he might be worried about taxes though. I would be if I was him. Well, no, if you got into Hex at the beginning, yes. If you got into Hex in the beginning with the 20 people, just like every single meme coin that ever existed, if you got in the beginning, is RH telling you to get in the beginning now? No, he's telling you to get in when billions of dollars in whales are trying to scam everyone. Not a good idea. Next scam loading on Solana pump fund token. Yeah, I heard about that. We're all wrecked. I'm not selling. Never selling. Hex can pop. I'm always thought that was lame marketing. Honestly, it was. Do you see Hex pumping in the next 12 months? Yeah, probably. I didn't know Jesse from Prank vs. Prank was a Hexican. I didn't know either. I don't know what Prank vs. Prank is. Yep, good to see you. Pulse Train was a failure. Thank you, Richard Hart, from saving everyone from poverty. They could have bought Bitcoin and absolutely had amazing gains. Incredible, real serious returns. No slippage. None. Don't care how big your sack is. Leon Max Mavis, good to see you. Biceps in the chat. Guys, if you want to do the giveaway, I'll click over to it real quick. And then we're going back to RH. The thing about RH is I only need to go for half a second. And then he just his mouth comes out of his literal butthole. It's piss. And this is becoming a piss chain. $1 billion piss chain. Go ahead and retweet that tweet if you want to be in the video. Don't be afraid. The more people that spam my tweets, no lie, the faster he will move. If he can actually see every once in a while something pop up on his timeline of him just getting absolutely smoked out while he has to sit and wait for ETH to pump after he told everyone that he just made something that was forever better, forever more powerful, forever more everything. Exactly, Thomas Winter. I was right either way. I mean, I am right either way because I staked. That was, hey, Richard Hart programmed it in, but it shows on the chart, dude. Hex is bleeding out to everything, even the main RH tokens. Dude, Ink token would be the one I'm the most bullish on. If I'm being 100% degen mode, I got to check Rackham's wallets a couple more times, but it's getting there. It's getting there. It was 112 cent. I put in a buy at like 112 or 115 a while back. And it's getting probably kind of close to those ranges-ish again. I don't even want to look, dude. It's down forever. God candle incoming. Yeah, so share this tab instead. I'm bullish on Ink. I'm bullish on, oh, you know what? I'll look at Deck Screener for a second. I can do whatever I want. I always forget that I'm not a sellout. So I can just talk about stuff. Well, everything's Red Death right now, but let me show you a few things. A couple tricks up my sleeves. Yeah, if you want to if you want to get in the giveaway, you retweet this tweet, you come to the YouTube chat and you drop a bicep. That way you're in the tweet. We're giving away gold on XCH, which did probably 1,000%. Probably a quarter of that was me yesterday. I bought a boatload because they had a new ticker and it was sick. Yeah, so that went up like 300%. And I can't even spam those chia charts anymore because it's like, it's kind of the meta, dude. Like getting into things before other people, like anyone knows about it is the best way. Richard literally talks about Hex. The best part of Hex is that when nobody was in it, it moved really fast. And then all these new coins come out that don't have a lot of liquidity and they move really fast and he trashes them. Guess what? Those are the people getting rich. You just found the meta. Those are the people getting rich. That's the meta. You found it. Coins that no one knows about yet, not ones that 3 billion sacrifice. That's the meta. Gold is the meta. Yesterday, gold was the meta. I friggin' pumped the shit out of that chart yesterday. That's why I'm giving it away. And I'll pump the shit out of it again. That Beppe ticker Chia. That's kind of my core 3 right now. That BetPay ticker Chi, I have love too. Love token. And if you think that's lame that I'm talking about that stuff, you're not early to anything. Peace. No, not yet, Jinx. Jinx, you gotta realize how bad I've been getting spammed lately. Perma spam, dude. Like everything that I say and do on my DMs, I'm sorry. There's so much spam. I'm getting absolute results, parabolic analytics on everything. Because I'm being honest. I'm being as honest as I can be. So if you want to do the giveaway, we're giving away gold today. Do you like gold? I'll show you the gold chart in a little bit later. I'll show you all that stuff. And I will, and that's just fun stuff, guys, like new fun stuff. That's what Hex was when it started. New, fun, innovative, cool. That's all. Not forever. Give all your money forever. BetPay for the win. Shout out to BetPay. If I have any BetPay army in here, if I have any ticker Chia army in here, and if I have any gold or love army or whatever, all the brand new meme coins on XCH. I mean, they're just new. You know, there's only like thousands, like $10,000, $20,000 in the liquidity pools. People still can't figure out how to get over there. I'm sorry for chilling. They've told me to stop talking about it. They've asked me to stop talking about it while they like do their thing, but I can't because it's so dope. It's just a different blockchain with gains and newer stuff. Don't you like new or do you like old? Hex was good when it was new. Now it's old and it's down forever. Maybe if I went into something that didn't go down forever and I took some of those gains out, I could buy more Hex with it. What? Well, then you would have to use the bridge. I hate my life. Yeah, so you heard the lawyer thing. And I let Richard go for like 2 seconds. Let's see what else he has to say about how bad Bitcoin performed and how much it sucks. Dominated him in every single way, shape, and form this cycle. This is what happens when you talk shit. Your brain will compensate. And then guess what? He missed out that Bitcoin was going to dominate the beginning of the cycle again with freaking great gains. Especially when you have $1 billion. Man, imagine having 2 billion. And then Sack Daddy coming in and dropping it when he hits parabol and blah, 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 blah.
Just be like, oh, well, I don't care what's going on with the majority of the market cap in 2017, the almost half of the market cap in 2019, right? There's coins now that are doing new all-time highs. They're not the big ones, right? So if you don't care about those things, you need to shut the fuck up about price. You're a dumbass. You're unqualified.
No, Richard, you're a fucking dumbass. You are a dumbass. Thanks for letting us know. Your project was good when it was new, and that's it. And the only time someone should invest in your projects are when they're brand new. And guess what? Pulse had a sack, making it not brand new, just money from your other not brand new thing. So why don't you clip that and spam it to Richard while he makes fun of new things now? Isn't it funny that Richard makes fun of new things now? Now he makes fun of Chia meme coins. Last night he was doing that because it's new. And he can't manipulate the supply. He's not down for that. Back in the day, of course, because he didn't have the coins yet. So I'm telling you how he used to play it to get out of poverty or to elevate himself financially. Because look at him now and look at him with the Gucci watches about 2 years from now in this video. And then look at the absolute backwards ass talking out of his ass, would never give his Hexicans good advice if his life depended on it. Every good move in crypto, he's probably sharking every single day and not telling any of you guys about it. You know why? Because he needs you to pad his bank account and so do all the other guys. And now his reputation is completely on the line. When ETH, bro,
qualified. If you cannot understand why a coin is in the top 10, you need to shut the fuck up giving speculative advice, because you do not know what you're doing. You do not understand the market that you are participating in. If you do not understand your competitors, their strengths, their weaknesses, how to take their customers from them, how to get customers that they don't have access to, how to outprice them. If you don't understand these things, you don't understand shit about business. I started my first business out of my front yard. I grew it to 150 employees, did $60 million a year in sales from fucking scratch, from nothing, right? I've been a serial success over and over and over again. I retired in 2003, 6 years before Bitcoin was fucking invented. I worked for like 5 years from fucking like 2000 to 2003 or 98 to 2003. Like it was the silliest thing, right? I retired at 25. I'm like 40 now. I've been retired for 15 years and have forgotten more than these idiots that try and give you advice like have ever learned, right? I've made and lost money. I've made and lost more money than they will have ever earned in their entire life. I've hired and fired more people than they will ever interact with professionally in their entire life. I called the 20K Christmas 6 months ahead of time, 4 months ahead of time, right? Who did that? And I called the bear market at 8,500 when no one else would, right? I did the hard thing. Now here's the funny part, right? By doing the hard thing for Bitcoin for years, what exactly did I get out of it? Well, I got everyone on Ethereum to hate me because I smack talked Ethereum.
Oh, you smack talked Ethereum forever, and then you forked it, bro, and now it sucks ass. And everything you said was wrong. Well, everything you said was right about what you're doing. Everything was said was wrong about the advice you gave to the people in your community. Richard Hart gave the worst advice to the people in his community. So he shit talks everyone, gives bad advice to his community, take all money goes him. Do we see? Are we starting to click? His wealth is allocated in Ethereum, moonshine fuel. No need. And he has a 90% of the hex supply. And if he gets pissed off enough, he can just dump it all. And he's ignoring everyone more and more. He wants to sell his product. Well, if his product was so advanced, you'd think it would sell itself. Ethereum sells itself. Bitcoin sells itself. Don't tell me these Bitcoin shills are the reason anyone talks about Bitcoin. It's not. Bitcoin is a revolutionary thing that changed the world. Don't get it twisted. It's a store of value. It's not something that's going to be used for, oh, you pay this and you pay this. It's not going to work like that. It was first in line and it has the most liquidity, period. End of story. It's forever. It's not always going to go parabolic, but it will outperform basically everything. Still. Because there's only 3 trillion in crypto. We're going to get to 10 trillion really quick. And yeah. So let's go back to the video. It's hard to even really watch. Really kind of pissing me off, to be honest.
A lot, right? Fairly, but look, fair smack talk, still smack talk, right? And everyone in IOTA absolutely hates me. And right, I made a lot of enemies to try and get people to invest their money in less stupid things and more good things. And you know what kind of reward I got for that? I got real people that are there for me and like me in my chat rooms. And I got a bunch of shit talking sycophants who add no value whatsoever, leeching off of my follower base, on Twitter.
Your follower base based on lies, brother. Based on lies. Yeah, you got a follower base from your chat rooms, and you should have kept it at that, dude. You'd be a global success as at doing anything you wanted to. He would have been a global success if he just had literally a news article in one subscription tab with all that dense information, and he did it for a long period of time. He would be creating revenue endlessly in streams online forever because he had great ideas. But when you put your back against the wall and something hits you, what are you going to do? Reputation is everything. Character is king. It's a lot easier to have character in Norwegia or on some freaking wherever these guys stay than it is in the United States, where the government can actually have a chat with you, I guess. But the meta is moving across the country if you're doing anything like that. The meta. Move to goddamn wherever Richard Hart is.
Right? So I've got 50K followers that I've earned, every single one of them. Every day I tweet great tweets, right? Price tweets, news tweets, technical analysis, fundamental analysis, you name it. I'm doing it, right? I'm in the space. If something happens, I'm on top of it, right? I've done that for years now. So I've earned my following, right? A lot of people have made a lot of money listening to me. If these other guys come along, right? No followers, and they do what's called clout chasing. So clout chasing means that whenever you have a successful person,
what a lying piece of shit. He's exactly clout chasing his whole career by making moves that have already happened in the market and then posting them and telling everyone they win forever. It's, you know how hard it is to read a post, be at your computer, have the funds ready. Like, not everyone's trading all day, Richard, like you were. The reason Richard had insight on the market back then, because he was in the market. Now he's stepped away from the market because his pants got too heavy from all of your bags. And now he's missing the trades because he's not staring at the computer all the time. Being a genius doesn't mean anything about like knowing things others don't. It's just people that neurotically stare at things over and over again and have a tendency to do that. I have a tendency to do that. I don't claim to be a flipping genius because I'm not. But it's so easy to claim to be a genius when you're looking at the markets all day. It might seem like I'm a genius because every single chart that I've posted in the last 2 months has gone straight up. But I'm not a genius. I just have insight on those markets because I've been in those communities for years. And they're finally flourishing. And people, and you know what I mean, the walled garden. Richard blocked me again, of course, for the 5th time in 5 years. Because if my abs are doing any like hex shilling, he's cool with following me. But if I'm being honest about anything, he blocks me immediately. So he does care, believe it or not. He does care. And people do have egos. And Richard Hart's ego drove him for a long time, and I feel like he hasn't matured out of it all the way because it's stupid. It's stupid to lie online like this constantly, forever, on repeat. I wouldn't do that. I don't think. I hope God, maybe this is just like the way life is, and someone's going to offer me enough money for me to sell out. I'll turn into a retard zombie and sell my entire life away, leave my family, and go to the middle of Finland while the SEC, Interpol police or whatever come after me, and I have to loophole around everything. And that's not good. That's not a good life. Remember that. So this guy that's raising his hand right here and telling you that he's richer and smarter and more fun and awesome and more creative, and I'm pretty sure he said more charismatic and all this crazy, weird, kind of odd things to say. and we're got 500 live viewers right now, and I earned this shit brick by brick. I streamed every day for years. I learned in real time for years. I was mocked for years just for doing things for free. I am the Richard Hart that never sold out. I won't sell out, and there's no need to. There's plenty to be had. I have enough already. And I don't need to have 2 Rolexes. I don't care. I don't give a shit. I'll never give a shit. I'll never give a shit. I might give a shit about having like a couple cars that I like, but that's not on the priority list. I'm 31 years old. This country is going to zero, and we need men with honor to stand up and with whatever they're doing and expose the scam artists, every industry, the roofing industry, the contracting industry, telemarketing of any sort. Is your phone. I'll have 13 missed calls on my phone because this is what guys with the better plan, this is their game plans. I've gotten more Beppe love. Don't turn this into a Beppe giveaway, but we are giving away gold on XCH. I probably pumped the chart 1,000% yesterday. So you can sell right into my bet. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. We're just giving away a little bit of gold. I did buy all day yesterday. So I'm just going to give a bunch away. And yeah, loving you on it. I appreciate that, dude. Like, I'm trying to do what Richard did, but not pivot to selling people stupid shit. Just continue to analyze the market. Like, if I can sit here and continue to analyze the market and provide good content, I don't need money. I don't need everyone's money. I do not want everyone's money. I do not. Hold on. Well, right while I said that, I get scam call. I don't want it. I don't think I want it. I don't think I want anything like that. I don't think I have better game theory than Bitcoin. I don't, and Richard didn't either. Pulse chain is not a better Ethereum. Ethereum gets sick updates constantly. You can now program hooks into every liquidity pool. But when another little Richard Hart meta alpha, that if you really want to know the alpha, once Hex, when Hex, Pulse X is on V2, right? Vastly inferior to V3, vastly. V2 liquidity providing is easier to fake real volume. Like, there's a little bit, it's easier to just throw liquidity in there, because V3 liquidity, you actually get to move your ranges. So you actually have to pick a range. It makes the experience much more dynamic, but it makes people that are manipulating in a large pool way less of an advantage. They're almost actually perma-cooked. So when Hex was on Ethereum and they went V3, Richard realized that that was cooked, and then he forked. We did V2. Why not V3? I just told you.
Me, right? All these losers that have never done anything with their life, never started a company, never had a big company, they never made millions of dollars, never traveled the world, never, like, whatever. They've never done anything, right? They just start popping into your feed and your thread and trying to create drama in the hopes that you respond. Because if you respond, now your followers are going to see the retarded crap they wrote.
Richard has used this exact same technique after this. So after this, Richard actually started using this technique. So watch him learn in real time, figure out these techniques, study them immensely, and then deploy them in his own life, talking right out of his asshole.
Right? Which is why I love the ghost method. You come to shit post on my threads, I just pretend you're not there, or I just block you, right? Unless you've actually got a follower base and you've actually earned to be on the same playing field as me. You actually matter.
I earned it,
right?
Richard.
You have some type of
5
influence.
times.
You've gained that influence by being not a loser for maybe longer than 6 months, right? Okay, I won't block you on site as easily, and I will treat you as an equal, and I will crush you on the live stream. I will fucking destroy you.
Come on, boy.
If
I
I
would just
take a
smoke
position
him.
on something,
I would,
you're going to lose.
dude. What is he going to do? Which chart is he going to show? You can't show your bank account in a debate. You want to talk? You want to debate? If you were smarter than buying Bitcoin, I could get a toddler to do that against you, and there's no way they could lose. There is no debate. There is no debate of what outperformed what. You got smoked in every single way. Smoked. And now looking back, you were taking advantage of young people and guys that didn't get enough strokes as a kid if they were a little bit older. But it's fine because we learn, we move forward, we keep going. Yo, I've asked Jack to come on, and he is still hesitant because I think he's still trying in the middle of working like and everything. He just did some fundraising thing, another fundraising thing. And I'm going to hammer Jack about that and ask him, what's up with the fundraising? What the fuck? Well, the guys that staked forever, Moonshine Fuel. Because when you stake heavy enough, it's coded in. Can't show your bank account in a debate. I guess he can. I'll show him mine. He won't. He'll be like, oh, you're just a regular guy? I'll be like, yep. I was never lying to everyone forever. Just a normal guy with a house and friends. And I don't want to be famous, but I definitely feel like my voice needs to be heard about this because no one is speaking up. No one. Everyone's afraid. And maybe they should be afraid. Maybe I should be afraid. I don't know. But I've met guys like this in real life that are all bluff. And they're very nervous and scared and insecure inside. And generally, they will just stay on an island somewhere far, far away and come up with plots in order to blah, blah, blah. You know.
Right? Roger Ver went head to head to me on Bcash. Bcash is worth 3.5% of a Bitcoin now, right? I wrote a guide on how to sell it through a free virtual machine to protect your private key so that little malware couldn't steal it if their little Electrum fork was evil, right? I wrote that guide at 19 cents, 19%. So if you would have sold Bitcoin Cash then, you would have got 19% of a Bitcoin. Now, if you want to sell it, you get 3.5%. Now, I will add a caveat. They did have a fork, a Photoshi sponsored fork, where there's probably another 1.5% or 2% of value hiding in there. So really, you went from about 19% when I wrote the guide down to about 5 or 6% of now, right? So people that have listened to me for the 2 or 3 years that I've been speaking have done very well. They've done wonderfully, right? When I did an 8-hour long live stream with no breaks, when China banned Bitcoin and we went down to 3,000, we went right to 20,000 shortly thereafter. I was there for that. When a bunch of corporate, right? The only thing I've changed my tune on are 2 things. I didn't understand that altcoins going up in price would drive Bitcoin up in price. I didn't understand that then. I thought they were competitors. They weren't. They're not substitute goods. A person that they addressed different markets, and if they were truly substitute goods, when one went up, another would go down. It would be substituted. But the way the market is run, whether it's due to hedge funds that just invest in index and don't care to choose winners and losers, right? When crypto goes up, it all goes up. And when crypto goes down, it all goes down. No, I hate that. I think it's terrible. I think winners and choosers should be chosen. But guess what? You got to learn, right? So I was wrong about the relationship between Bitcoin and altcoins. Altcoins pumped Bitcoin. Bitcoin pumped altcoins. It was a synergy, right? And then all these maximalists are like, man, fuck
Bitcoin
altcoins, fuck
didn't
altcoins.
pump your altcoin, bro. Bitcoin just hit all-time highs. Bitcoin hit all-time highs last week. I repeat, Bitcoin hit all-time highs last week. And Hex on both chains is hitting all-time lows. Gotta say it like that for Crypto 7 and people.
Well, basically what you're saying is fuck your bag. Like, I know you're too stupid to understand the speculative theory behind it, but it's just look at the chart. They all go up and down together, right? Is it a coincidence that Bitcoin's at all-time low and all the alts are at all-time low? And when Bitcoin was all-time high, all the alts are at all-time high? No, it's not a coincidence, right? So
please, if you're a Clipper god, I'm not even going to be in it. Actually, you can keep me in it or whatever. I'm going to rewind it a little bit. Go ahead and screen record that. Don't buy him. I think him is a bad one. I saw it on Pulse Police. Don't buy that. I'm gonna if you're a clip god, go ahead. I'll rewind a little.
Bitcoin pumped altcoins. It was a synergy, right? And then all these maximalists are like, man, fuck all coins. Well, basically what you're saying is fuck your bag. Like, I know you're too stupid to understand the speculative theory behind it, but it's just look at the chart. They all go up and down together, right? Is it a coincidence that Bitcoin's at all-time low and all the alts are at all-time low? And when Bitcoin was all-time high, all the alts are at all-time high? No, it's not a coincidence, right? So what's the other thing I learned? Well, I learned that Ethereum, it's not actually that bad. So my essay on why Ethereum sucks so bad, I leave up because it's all true. But you can route around a lot of that stuff, right? So what's the biggest problem with Ethereum? Well, originally it was they rolled back the chain, which is unforgivable, but they can't do that now. It's too diverse. It's too wide. So age just kind of fixed that problem. All right, so what's the next problem? Turing complete contracts let smart contract developers hang themselves with complexity, and they just lose a lot of money. Okay, well, how do you solve that? You just make less complex contracts that have been better audited and had more eyeballs on them, and then you don't have that problem, right? Now I hear people crap talking Ethereum, which I'm an expert at. Nobody does it as well as I do. And see, I haven't had any sleep, so now I'm actually losing my voice. I don't know why that even happens. Why does sleep affect your voice? I don't know. So multiple billion-dollar plus projects have launched as ERC20 tokens on Ethereum. 3 of the top 10 cryptocurrencies by market cap were launched on Ethereum, if you include.
Oh, now you want to talk about market cap. Hex's market cap is like billions and billions of dollars. That's why most investors don't even look at it. That's why most centralized exchanges won't accept it, because they know they'll get perma-dumped, and it's a business. Centralized exchanges are a business. That means they don't want to lose all their money to rich people that own 90% of the supply of something to their endless liquidity pool that will eventually get put up. MEXC tried it. Guess what? Nope. Sold out in 2 seconds. The wrong way.
Ethereum, right? So EOS and TRX and Ethereum are all multi-billion-dollar projects, and they all launched on Ethereum. 2 of them is ERC20 contracts. So when I hear retarded, stupid, Bitcoin maximalist idiots talk about the viability or security of like the ERC20 ecosystem, I just think, well, I don't know, man. Like launching a multi-billion-dollar project with absolutely no problems and creating a whole new blockchain seemed to go pretty flawlessly for those guys. So Yeah, it seems to be working really well. What the fuck are you talking about, right? Like 3 out of 10 are launched on that network, and it's the number 2 hash network. And it has a better mining ecosystem because you combine it with GPU, so you don't have to send money to Jihan, right? Who is a bad actor and did bad things to Bitcoin, right? There's people that have harmed Bitcoin. Garzik harmed Bitcoin. Roger harmed Bitcoin. Still
Richard Hart harmed the shit out of Bitcoin. Richard Hart lost more people money from not investing in Bitcoin than anyone ever possibly could. Richard Hart gave people, if you have everyone that Richard Hart influenced, about 6.1% of those people became wealthy because they were honed in on his flexing and intellectual prowess, and they were kind of intellectuals themselves. They got in early enough, and everyone after like 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 cents, I got in at 1.9 cents. So I'd say right about 5 cents. All Jeets, all ruined, all lost all their money, period. End of story. The majority of people in Richard Hart's ecosystem lost all their money. And you could say that about basically most ecosystems, but Richard told you in particular this was different. He told you in particular he had the edge. He told you in particular that if you were siding with him constantly, you would always go up. And if you sided with them constantly, you would always go down. And the actual opposite occurred. The direct, dead nuts opposite occurred. 100% opposite occurred. Everything else outperformed Richard Hart assets, and Richard Hart assets went to new all-time lows. New all-time lows. Wins the bottom in. Bottom forever. Draw another line, TA dudes. Somebody get Hex Tangent to draw some lines with Crypto 7 and Hexy Bastard and Moon King. Get some lines going and send this shit to the moon. Oh, wait. Oh, wait.
demonize it to this day. I don't have anything bad to say about Bitcoin. I like Bitcoin. I'm honest about it. I know what it's good at. I know what it's not good at. I own the shit still. Fucking Bitcoin's great, right? But I also know it's more expensive than Ethereum to do transactions. And I also know that the mining ecosystem's terrible. And I also know it's had inflation bugs. The last one caught by Bitcoin Cash developer. And I also know that it's got less developers with a less ambitious roadmap. And I could go down the list, all that stuff.
Less ambitious roadmap. The Richard Hart roadmap is to let ETH pump. Is that ambitious? Ambitious. What's the definition of ambitious? No, it's not. It's not ambitious at all. It's retarded. It's just old meta pretending to be new meta. Old meta pretending to be new meta. The old meta is never the new meta. Like when we're spamming XCH meme coin charts in your face and nobody has touched them and the pools are like $30, $40, $50,000. That's like the meta, right? But people don't like doing the meta because you actually have to use your brain. So that's what creates the walled garden to the meta. And it's not just that. There's a million things, dude. BitTensor, we destroyed it. We were talking about BitTensor at $40. It's like $800 now. We were talking about anything we could. And guess what? The Hex community slandered me at the top when they were stealing everyone's money for doing exactly what I'm doing now. And Richard blocked me. I was less aggressive. Richard blocked me. Everyone blocked me. I was more naive back then too. So it was kind of hard for me to lean into it because I was like, what if I'm wrong? And now it doesn't matter if I'm wrong because Richard Hart was wrong. Perma wrong. Perma wrong. Don't care if he did a 10,000x from today on. He's still perma wrong. Everything he said was wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. If you bought Bitcoin when he was talking right here, sold it for Hex right now, you would be the biggest whale. If you bought Bitcoin during this stream that I'm watching in 2019, if you bought Bitcoin or Ethereum, and then you bought back today, the bottom of the chart, you would be the number one whale in the system. So both ways you got cooked. There's no way you got cooked. Impermanent gains, impermanent loss, down forever on top of yield down forever. $2,000 for one T share 6 years ago. And guess what? 1 cent per T share. Savings plan on steroids. The bank actually outperformed. Gold actually outperformed. Ethereum outperformed. Bitcoin outperformed. A lot of good men shilled a lot of their family members. I didn't do that. I wasn't dumb enough to do that. I told people about it, but they usually made their own decision and were like, yeah, we don't usually follow guys that act like that. Nah, fair point now in hindsight. Probably just more mature than me.
Stuff's true, right? I don't need to pretend that reality isn't there to try and pump my bags by lying to people, right? All you Bitcoin maximalists that can't understand why there's 9 other coins in the top 10, you need to shut the fuck up. You are costing people their life savings. You are making financial advice about altcoins, right? That people are going to understand as, oh, I better short this shit. Man.
If you shorted Hex 5 years ago, you would be probably have President Trump as your butler. If you shorted Hex 5 years ago, if you shorted everything Richard Hart has ever touched with his ideas, you're up 1,000,000,000%. And if you bought Bitcoin when he did this video and you did it, you're up 10,000,000,000%. You might just be the richest man in the world. Yeah, I know. And dude, savvy people made out great. Don't get it twisted. If you were savvy in crypto, you made out great. Me not working right now. Me getting my house remodeled. It's not about me because I'm creating content. When you're creating content, it's supposed to be about the user. That's how you create value. That's what Richard Hart tried and used to do, but he couldn't go the long haul, right? He had to make it super enriching, right? Like immediate gratification, telling everyone it's long-term gratification, right? So maybe I am just paid attention to this stuff a little more denser than everyone. I've always been paying attention to this stuff because my money's always been tied in it. But 1.5 years ago, I stopped streaming. You want to know why? Because I smashed the sell button on all my liquid bags for the most part. I mean, I had like I was trading in the beginning a little bit, trying to figure out what was going on. I realized the ratios were out of control. I put my sack bags to the side, and which weren't that much. And then I bought at some point. So I did spend money on the other end. So I lost a fuck ton, I'm sure. Anything I've done with Richard. But and then again, when I bought Hex the first time, I made so much money. I just happened to be in. I just got lucky. I was just lucky. I thought we were in something that might have a little more speculative upside.
If you short altcoins, you could last for a while, right? But what are we, at least more than halfway done with the bear market? When the bear market's over, if you get that right, like TRX is pumping right now. Why? Because they're airdropping a shitcoin. I'm not even sure it's a shitcoin, really. They're airdropping a very, very, very high supply coin of 990.
Why won't the video work, dude?
Billion units, the largest supply of any cryptocurrency that any.
Probably getting mass reported by alt accounts. Well, I don't really have to go on any further. Like, to be honest, I've been on a Richard Hart FUD, Max FUD campaign, and I'm one of the most qualified people at the job because everyone that's so deep into Hex, they cannot tell their family that I was wrong. They cannot tell their girlfriend that they were wrong. They cannot tell their brothers and sisters that they were completely retarded. They cannot tell all the people and the YouTube people, and because they're not willing to admit that they were wrong, right? I have always made it a point to be open about where I'm at. When I started crypto, I wasn't as good at it. Now I can swap any crypto at any time on any exchange, and I have 100 bridges for everything. And it's not hard to do when you stare at your computer for 8 hours a day. The problem is most people don't have the luxury. You can frame that into saying I'm a genius. So you can either frame that into saying I'm a genius, or you can frame that into saying I'm just a dude who looks at my computer all the time because I'm so neurotic about thinking I can make money online. Or in some cases, you can say I'm so neurotic about learning the future of crypto, which really Richard Hart one day did. And then, you know how it goes. Money destroys people, like big money. Big money swings destroy people. If you have to be super ready to handle stuff. And life will let you handle stuff. Like for the ups, you will have the downs, Richard. Nobody knows how much Richard has. Nobody knows how much tax he avoided or not avoided. Nobody knows any of that stuff. People just assume. People just assume he's a billionaire. People just assume all that SAC money he's allowed to just drop into the Hex pool, even though he would never do that in a million years. The only way your money's going to go to zero. If he wants that 155,000 ETH to go into Hex, that's just not Richard Hart. It's not Richard Hart. Richard Hart is a value-seeking missile. And then he stopped studying the market because he got too rich off of all of your money. And it's not he's a scammer. He just tricked you. Like scamming is like directly lying, I guess. Richard was a little more suave about it. And even if this stuff works out, everyone lost their money, dude. I don't think people see it yet. Richard was so diabolical about breaking down charts. Richard Hart has the worst price charts in cryptocurrency history without a pump. So in the last 5 years, everything Richard has touched has gone down. Not against the market, not better game theory, more scammers, more Telegram scammers, more sacrifice phases. And then when people really ramp up the scamming, he goes away. Because what is he supposed to say? I'm intellectually honest. He's not intellectually honest anymore. There was a morsel of it in him back in the day when we were scooping his alpha and absolutely trading our way to the heavens. Thank you, Richard Hart. Richard Hart is a crypto trader, and he always has been, and he told everyone else not to trade. He literally just said, you guys are not smart enough to trade. The truth is, Richard's not that smart. Richard is manipulative, which can make you seem smart. And I want to protect his dude, but there's good people, dude. There are good people, man, with real hearts and souls that have lost a lot in their reputation. And I want them to know it's okay. It is okay, dude. There was a time too where I was down bad about it. I didn't tell my family. I ain't that dumb. But, I told some friends and I still tell my friends to hawk these bottoms because there's a chance. There's a Richard Hart redemption chance. If this is Richard Hart's redemption chance, he has one chance. It is now. Yeah, RH is so smart. And this is what I was trying to tell you guys. Richard has lost his ability to read the market because he's no longer participating in it. When I was working the last year doing something else, I lost my understanding of the market because I wasn't participating in it. Then I come back for 2 months. It took me a minute too, but now I'm participating in it, right? I can see it for what it is. I've been around for long enough. I've watched these price charts for long enough. I've seen these dorks move the liquidity around for long enough. I've seen people pre-farm all their tokens up and put $1 million in the liquidity pool and tell everyone it's a new coin. Coins with millions of dollars of liquidity are not new. They're old. He never had to say altcoins or all this bullshit. It's like new coins with fair distribution. But Richard didn't want to say that. You know why? Because he wanted to be able to say new coins, no fair distribution. I'll provide LP. I'll make all your money on trading, and then it won't even notice when I'm profiting off of this. And that's it. I got 623.29 live, 2 on Twitch, 50 on YouTube. The RH Max stream was insane. I might just play it because everyone said it was dynamic. Well, my internet's not doing good today. I'm not happy with my internet today. So I think I'm just going to cut it there. The truth is, right now, I'll tell you what the meta in crypto is right now. Like, I'm in the trenches, dude. I'm making money. And I'm not saying I'm killing everyone and making billions of dollars, dude. I'm not. But I'm turning $500 into $6,000 in 7 days, for example, something like that. Like, if you're interested in stuff like that, because that's a learning thing too. Like, if you learn with small amounts, you can figure stuff out before you dump sack into something you know nothing about, right? It's all about the size of the liquidity and the distribution of the token. Hear me again. It's all about the liquidity pool size. So your favorite new coin that has $2 million in liquidity and it will not move if you spend $10 on it. Who would have thunk it? And then all these coins drag the piss out of Pulse Chain against everything because they're all mostly scam coins. And this is why I've been talking about this so much, because even I'm starting to realize that Pulses can't pump. And it shows on the chart, it's the worst of all, everything. Pulse, the main asset, the worst of them all, performed worse than them all, worse than a sea of horrible, worse of a sea than of the worst price charts of all time. And I wonder why, right? Because Rectum, Rashad, and all these guys, they pre-mine these tokens. They put them on the market. It's not like people are just launching tokens and being like, oh. But I am going to highlight real quick 2 tokens on Pulse Chain. I don't give a shit. These things have gone constantly up while Pulse has gone constantly down. I have literally tripled my Pulse Chain bags off of these, and it's because no one's really selling. And they're new, and the liquidity is low, and the distribution is fair. And I don't even care what the protocol is. And I'm being dead serious. I don't care what the protocol is. Richard Hart taught me that. If things go up in value, you buy them no matter what, right? Rich. So this is called CVRE. I saw some tweets from them, and I saw that they had a new, new ticker, which was, let's see, 2 months, 18 days old. So it was new, and it was like slowly like clicking on, like I could tell nobody was hoarding it. And then I bought in like here, and then I went moonshot, and then I bought in again right here because I was like, fuck it. Because when price discovery, another thing people don't understand price discovery. Richard tried to teach you guys this for a long time. Price discovery happens when there's not $4 billion in a pool waiting for people to be. Price discovery happens when a coin is new and people are finding out about it for the first time. So these liquidity pools are small. You put a couple $100 in, these pools are supposed to warm up. 49 in liquidity, nothing crazy on the trading volume, just steady Eddie. You know what I mean? All-time highs yesterday. All-time highs. All-time lows for Pulse Chain. All-time lows for Hex. All-time highs for this. This is what Richard Hart was trying to teach you, and I'll teach it to you for free. How about that? All-time highs. Another example. These are just examples from what I've been doing personally. I posted all of these things. By the way, hit my notification bell. I posted all this shit right here, right when it almost hit all-time highs for this little hump. I posted this right here. That you would have 0, 0, 0, 0. It's like a 5x or a 7x. That's a 7x on your gains. 5x, 70 million pulls for 10 million. Great deal. Hit my notification bell the second I hit the buy button on stuff like this, since it's new. I post it. This one's got a little bit more dense than the other one. I don't like how they spread the liquidity out. So basically, a lot of guys' techniques are to spread this liquidity out. Like if you go here and you click through here, like you can see all the pulls that come up, right? I hate to see that. So if you, the Fitzgerald Company, I'm telling you, bro, if you're watching this, I'm telling you how to fix it to make it go better. Drop these fucking liquidity pools, bro. Keep it all to one stable coin. And I see you have USDL. I don't know anything about USDL, so I ain't fucking with that. Coast, I'm in the United States, so that's the only reason I'm not fucking with that. But like, just put it on a stable, dude. Pulse is cooked. If you put it on a stable and that thing jackknifes against the market, everyone will buy it. That's how this shit works. That's what I was trying to explain over and over again. So let's look at the other one. The one I like a little better, to be honest. Liquidity-wise, metrics-wise. This is the one I like a little better. Only reason I like it better is because I could probably sell like $5,000 into this pool right now, and it would probably slip. It would probably slip to like here. I'm cool with that, dude, because I bought all the way down here now. So I'm done with paying attention to it. And if it dumps all the way down, I don't know. I don't care. Whatever. At this point, everything's dumping forever, so I got to take some miracle shots when I can. But when things are near all-time highs, that means that like people have been deciding whether nobody's selling, right? So really what this, when a chart is going in a parabola really means is the sellers are gone. If there's some traders that are selling and that's it. Please listen. If you're like, I'm giving you as much information as I can. I can't only be on here for another couple minutes. Well, I'm going to check my phone real quick. I can't tell if I'm getting scammed or actually have to like pay bills sometimes. They're like, oh, this bill, that bill. And I'm like, is this a scam? Everything's a scam. So yeah, so a coin like this, for example, it's pretty much like the people that are getting in for the same reason I did, probably, and or they really align with the project, which I really haven't checked out too much. I've just been spamming price charts. But 49 in liquidity, nothing can go wrong. If you check the distribution out, you can tell, like, are there 100 guys that can dump that, or are there like 1 or 5 or 30, right? I like that better, especially against a shit coin that's going straight down. You're welcome. I hope it's the bottom, bro. Please, God, be the bottom. PulseX is down 3.37% on the day. Hex is down 5% on the day. Ink token down 1.5% on the day. ETH down 2% on the day. CRVE only down 2% on the day. That's pretty good since we're doing all-time highs. See, only down 1% on the day. That basically means candles only print when trades happen or the price of the asset it's stuck to moves, okay? So when the price that it's stuck to moves, when Pulse goes down, beep, some bots will come in here through and bot this. And that makes the liquidity harder to send down. People are so afraid that people will sell into their shit. But the truth is they should be afraid the exact opposite way around, right? Like the exact opposite way around. People think the meta is having 15 liquidity pools with $30,000 each. Not when the asset's going down only. And yeah, we could be near the bottom and it could be in permanent gains, but you can add a pool whenever the fuck you want. So keep things narrow. It's just like trading into DAI. It's the same thing as having a narrow liquidity pool. I don't know if he's doing this on purpose but it's the smarter move. Like, who would have thought the meta was not thinking about it and just doing it to one pair? Oh, wait, Richard Hart taught us that. Duh! So, and I don't care if this thing dumps or if you have a bunch of it and you sell it. I already made my money back. So that's kind of how I play stuff like this. I make my money back and I leave it here. If this thing shits to all-time highs, I'm stoked out. Period. End of story. And it doesn't take much. It probably takes like $5,000 and it's over. And then 10 grand. So that's how you double. Yeah, I got in early, so I get most of the gain from that, right? But if this could be early, if it ends up here, but the chart will look the same. So if it's up here, let's say like I was looking at the same chart. To the eye, it would seem like, oh, I'm too late for this, right? But Hex was this price, and then it went to all the way moon light years away. So price discovery is something you have to observe, right? Like you have to observe it. Like, why aren't people harassed selling that made money? Oh, maybe it's because every other asset that they bought goes down only. So if you actually want to learn something and follow along with someone who's actually in the trenches paying attention to these stuff, that's what Richard Hart used to be. I will step up. I enjoy looking at this stuff. And I'm not planning on launching a coin or coming out with anything to enrich myself. Just steady Eddie growth and good content and monetization. However, the YouTubes and the Twitters and all that stuff, we'll see about that. I don't do that right now. But I mean, if I get popping, I get popping. You know, I'll experiment with whatever. But I'm only going to be dropping truth bombs. I'm only going to be doing it. I'm leaning in. I don't care. Have an amazing day, guys. We are doing a giveaway. I'll give you one more chance. You have to go to the Twitter feed. Oh, wait. I'll look through my Twitter real quick. Just because it's been absolutely diabolical. We are live on Twitch. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Twitter. Whoops. So I've been on a FUD Richard Hart campaign, and he is 150% dump away from getting shit off this fucking banner. If you give me one more 50% dump, you're off the banner. I'll replace you with Doquan because his shit did better, and he went to prison. Again, the Max FUD campaign continues. Will Richard Hart say I was wrong? Will Richard Hart look in the camera and say I was wrong? Here's the stream. Here's the link to the tweet. If you don't have biceps in the chat, you don't get involved. So you need a bicep in the YouTube chat, and you need to retweet the tweet I just posted right there. That's me with the 8-pack. That's Richard with the man tits. And that's SBF with the beanbag orgy parties. He's in prison too. I think. Yeah, no, he's in federal prison, yeah. They thought them Jews couldn't get away with shit. Fuck you, SBF. So we'll see. I'm going to give it 5 more minutes to sit, and then I'm going to preview RH Maximus. So yeah, you got to retweet that stream, and you have to obviously subscribe. I do giveaways every day. It's stupid not to subscribe. You could literally just hawk the giveaway and dip if you want. I mean, I'm giving you literally years of alpha and social engineering understanding from this absolute wildness that is fucking Pulse Chain. So don't you get it frickin' twisted, fam. Oh, the biceps are coming in so fast, dude. Don't get it twisted, brother. I want to see retweets on this tweet and special points. Hey, special points if you retweet this tweet. You might even get like, I might come to your house and just give you a hug because I want more people to see it. This dude wants to make fun of people, tell everyone that has small accounts that they suck. Well, guess what, buddy? I haven't leaned in for 1 second ever. And I have more resources and more time now. And not going to sell out. Not going to do it. I don't need as much money as these guys. I don't need $100 billion. I don't give a fuck. I would like to hang out with my family and not have to move to goddamn Finland. How about that? I'd like to plant some flowers and see my nephews and shit. And like have a coffee with my neighbors. That sounds way better. And have money, obviously, to pay your bills and maybe go on vacation and have a nice car, go on some trips, dirt biking, surfing, mountain biking, anything, man. Camping with the fam, you name it. You name it. So you get extra bonus triple points if you retweet this. And I have a Telegram. If you want the Telegram link, it is invite only, and it is just my place. That's the first place I post them, right there. Boom. Then I go to Twitter, boom. And if I'm live streaming, I'll talk about it. So if you hit my YouTube notifications, Twitter notifications, and you DM me or ask me for I'll follow you back. You can come in and see actual intellectual credibility rather than lies. So there you go. And then we will go over to and I'm just going to get myself ready. I got to do something in a minute here. RH Maximus yesterday invited me on stream and let me go full throttle. He let me go. He let me go full throttle. He's a good man. RH Max is a good man. And he had a big platform yesterday. And we had a lot. Let's see how many comments are on this bad boy. 71 comments already. Everyone coming at the kid. Everyone calling me an asshole. Everyone calling me a liar. Everyone saying I'm the scam artist. People calling me a drug addict. You can say whatever you want. It's been a hard road not selling out. I'm not taking it lightly. Not selling out has been a hard road. And everyone who did sell out will attack you immediately. And they will wall you out. And they will hopefully get you. You were just in time not to see me before I said those guys are dumper artists. Fuck heads. Maxis, what up?
Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning.
How's my audio?
One of the best intros.
It into ETH, and I just left the computer for a year, and it never registered to even look at it because I was disappointed at that point with the market, though, the whole market, right? Like I didn't get into Bitcoin. Richard said Bitcoin is, trash a million times, told every Bitcoin retard he was a retard to his face, told everyone in the world that had any connection that could have been actually helpful in this arena to get out, because he said he was smarter, because he wanted to attract in a certain impressionable type of man to buy his stuff that he could just play the fiddle with. And look what happens. They all take his ideas and they do sacrifices and they play the fiddle with liquidity pools now. They just do what he used to say he did before Hex even came out.
Well, I would say I don't think he ever promoted, like, okay, he did sac phases, but I don't think he's ever like, it's not in Sci Vibe do sacrifice phases. I never seen him do a tweet like, hey guys, you should do the same thing I'm doing. I think he did it and he could do it well. I mean, well, as a, looking at, well, relatively speaking too, what the TBD on how well it turned out, all the sacrifices. But Anyway, let me before we get into the different points and stuff too, let me just put up. I just want to make sure we're on the same page. Again, we're debating something. I asked Jim Rat for his side. This is his opening statement of like the main debate point, and there's a ton of stuff to get into around that. But like I'm taking notice, everyone out there, this is the debate about Richard Hart. It's not some other thing. It is this. And I'm taking the other side. So my objective here is to like dig into these things, talk about it. Jim Rat's probably gonna have some good points. I'm hopefully gonna have some good points as well, and everyone learn from it. But this is
37 stakes on both chains, just so everyone knows. That is the power of Richard Hart, which is undeniable. If this stuff works out, I'm going to be the happiest dude that ever lived. Just like everyone else, though, like that's in participating. But I don't have to have liquid leverage. That's another part of my.
So what was it? So let me just this other tweet you just caught. I think you pinned this one too. This one caught my attention too. So you have skin in the game, right? You said you have 37 stakes on both chains.
Well, yeah, I got forked. I had 37, and now I have 37. Well, now it's like 34 because a couple of them actually came up. But that's I always say that. I just say 37 because that's what it was when it forked.
But so okay, so you have skin in the game. What and just can you walk me through on this tweet too? Is the strategy too? Because I feel like every day people provoke Richard. Probably every single day, there's probably 10 more people that I never see, but I can safely assume. Fact check this, look it up if you want, but there's probably a ton of people every day that try to provoke Richard or say, hey, go do something, or like, tell him he sucks and like kind of hit his ego. Like it looks like what you're trying to do here too. And, posting the chart, posting the 5-year chart of EHEX going down, all that stuff.
Oh, and all the guys that just think all the not going to say that, all the dumb butts that think I have anything to do with XCH or meme coins are dumb as shit. I just joined a community like everyone else. I made videos about XCH 3 years ago. You guys are perma dumb as shit. I don't care. People make money, right? And then people lose money down 99% forever and everyone sells their soul for it. People experiment, build new things, and change. And then some people hold things down 99% while other people hold it. A scam is lying directly to everyone's fucking face forever. And then 99% down. And then when the chart goes up, streaming again and making people excited. Hold on one sec. But that's it. If you want to watch the RH Max stream, go ahead and do it. I got to go. I'm getting a phone call. I got to answer it. Peace out. Have a great day. Watch the RH Max stream on his channel.